It's been good.
Yeah, so today's conversation stems from my experience at the workshop. So just to fill everyone in, Indians held a dance workshop held by Swarali Swarali Garuka.
Yeah,
Got it.
call it
All right, we call her Swara.
Yeah, we
All
call
right.
it Swara.
She's a dance therapist from America, and she came here and she taught 2 workshops in Bollywood heels and Bollywood items. And so what she is about is she's just about really connecting to the self and being confident with who you are in your skin, and really not worrying or not caring about what anyone, not being scared of being judged, just in that session. So she takes was it like an hour long session, maybe hour and a half session, right? And in that session, all she wants you to take away is that you don't need to worry about who's watching, and that feel free and be free to express and be who you are. And so I didn't participate, but I watched, and I think something that was really I had quite a moving experience, because there's this notion or the stigma around women and the way they have to or are the way that society communicates certain ideas around feeling confident or being sexy, and she just fully busted them. You know, she was she was getting you guys to get on the mirror and shake your bum and feel get really close, feel other people's bodies and things like that. And for me watching, it was just at first it was okay, wait, do I look, and this is kind of awkward, and then after that it was wait, no, why isn't this normal? Isn't this how it should be? And so yeah, that's what I thought today's discussion could be around, body confidence, or that self-confidence, that self-esteem, or the way that society, the way we've maybe been brought up in our upbringing to see or understand the way that women, or the way women are meant to be, or just that feeling around self-confidence, self or body image, and this idea that it's to feel sexy or is considered to be taboo.
And now you can see the subtle messages in movies and things and TV shows, and who's sponsoring that, and how actresses should look. And I mean, I appreciate beauty, and I totally love beautiful movies and things like that, but when it's portrayed in such a way that you will only be happy if you look like this, or you will only be happy if you have this Prince Charming, or because you look like that, or it's bizarre.
We should be happy with now, because actually we were just saying how we look back at photos of ourselves and we're we looked good here, and then she was saying, but at that point in time I always thought I was fat.
I couldn't believe it. I was I'm messed up in the head. I look back at old photos and I remember very clearly looking at myself when I looked like that back then. I can remember myself in my head thinking I'm fat. It's just nuts. And I'm I look sick in that photo, and I'm just
you're a size 6.
Yeah. It's I don't know
really
what was wrong with
weight.
me. Your mind
I don't know
is
if men have the same issue. Do you have the same issue with weight, or is it just a woman thing?
No, I think it's the same
with
for men. Personally, I haven't experienced that side. I've experienced I'm not big and muscly enough side, or
yes,
I don't have this type of beard, or
So it's there, it's in all of us.
Yeah,
this whole,
for sure.
We have to fit into some sort of society. I did also read this or listen to this one quote, and it was whatever society is doing, you go the opposite way.
Sounds about right.
Because
I think anyone who's done anything great has done that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think another way to change is just be very, very conscious of just what you say to other people. Sometimes it can come out as so innocent. You just think, oh, I'm just being nice, you know. For example, I remember someone saying, oh my God, after the baby you lost so much weight and you've just gone back to your body size, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, you know. I was like, I felt good, you know. And after the second one, like, it wasn't the same. Like, every pregnancy is different, every baby is different, and your body does different things. And it didn't go back the second time, right? But I remembered that comment from the first time, and I was like, oh my God, now people are going to be like, oh, look at her, she didn't even lose the weight again, or
the whole
she doesn't
baby
go back.
thing
I feel like
after a baby, it's like really screws with women.
Yeah.
Really.
I feel like I'm getting judged now because it's been just over a year, but I still haven't gone whatever.
It's like oh, I can't even tell you the mind games that postpartum does to you.
Wow.
Especially,
I've had the most emotional attachment to myself this whole year than I have probably. But it's been a lot of emotional attachment to my body for a long time. But this year has been specifically hurtful, and also in a space of I have to accept myself for who I am and not myself, not determine how I look as how awesome I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, how I look right now is awesome because it is me.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Totally.
I mean, the last year, before any occasion, you know, going through all the items in my closet, trying on, saying, no, taking off, trying on, no, the tears, the tantrum, and the emotion, just be like, just wear that one, go back to that one. That one was nice, wear that one. That was, it was horrible. It was like, basically, it was, do you remember in Tauranga, and the wedding, the blouse, that was me for every little event that we went to that time.
I was pretty much naked trying to put on this this blouse in front of Rash, and it was not fitting.
Wasn't I was squeezing.
She was
boobies
squeezing
in,
the boobies. Your boobs are full of milk. My baby was only like maybe 2 months old.
Yeah.
You know, and
we got
I'm
very
like,
close that afternoon.
I'm like, I'm sure Rachna seen me naked before.
Not that naked.
But yeah. But that's when also having a baby kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's so true.
But maybe because Rachna had also had a baby, I don't know if I'd have done that in front of someone who hadn't had a baby.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
You
I think
know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
I don't think,
because of and also because it's Rachna, I knew that she wasn't, you know, there to judge me. So I was just all out in all my glory. Running around like a headless chicken, trying to look good for a wedding when I just had a baby 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just nuts.
It's so hard to put any blouse on after a wedding.
Yeah.
It's not just wearing those stretchy tops and you get told, I can't, why did you wear this? This does not look good. Like, it's the only blouse that fit me. Shut up, okay?
When I walked into the dance, even to this good dance that we just did, and these girls obviously hadn't seen me for years, and when I walked in, their mouths literally dropped because of the weight that I'd put on. You know, they're like, "Whoa, you look so different." You know, so it was like, okay, yeah, awesome. Like, I feel really good about being here right now.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah.
They'll only realize that after they have kids, you know.
Yeah, and being the only mum in that group, it was tough.
I don't know if I could have continued on with dance class if she wasn't there, already have experienced what I had gone through. Like, so close to quitting. Like, I was telling Swara after the workshop, like, you have no idea how much today meant to me. Like, first of all, you called me sexy, which just, like I said, I'm going to bring that story up for the next 5 years.
Yeah, own it.
Like, I was just like, when she goes to me, do you know how unbelievably sexy you are? And I was just like, talking to me? Felt so good. What was that story going on?
But imagine if we all talked to each other like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, like, I feel like I want to get to the stage where I shouldn't need her or someone else to make me feel that way.
Yeah.
That would be
I just, like,
awesome.
Yeah, that's so true, Rash. Yeah.
But also, being in the dance class and just trying so damn very hard. But yes, after a kid, it's so bloody hard.
But also, yeah. Like,
But we can't be like, I feel like we can't be hard on ourselves.
No.
Like, there's so many videos of these women and they're dancers, you know, and they're like dancing and they're huge, like pregnant, and then they have the baby and they're like a couple of weeks
Straight
they're
away.
back into it, and it's like, you know, everyone's creating these unrealistic kind of things.
Expectations
and,
or
and these guys could
Yeah.
be like professional. These girls are like professional dancers. They dance every day. We can't compare ourselves to that. You
Some
know?
of them
like,
aren't even breastfeeding, you know,
Yeah.
and when you're breastfeeding a baby, like it's really hard to lose weight
It
because
is.
you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You
so-
actually can't. Like I remember as soon as I started dancing again, like at 10, 11 months after Raghav, as soon as I started, my milk just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I supposed to nourish my child now?
Yeah, I
It takes a
started-
lot of work. Like you got to think of everything you're eating, how much you're eating, how often you're eating, how much water you're drinking. There's a lot of work that goes into
hormones.
trying to be active, but at the
Yeah.
same time nourish your child.
Well,
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're judged. You're
Yes.
judged
Yeah.
for not losing weight
Yeah.
and for, I don't know.
At the same
Not
time,
looking
it's also
perfect.
like, oh, you finished, you're not feeding your child anymore. So, because it's like you're supposed to feed them for whatever long, you know?
Yeah.
Breastfeed for whatever long. So it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to maintain like all these things and
Yeah.
you just...
trying to make everything
But then
and
that's
everyone else
happy.
happy.
But that's it, right? That's a whole dilemma in life.
Yeah.
And I regret that. Like, I regret not giving that 1 year to my child where I'm just like, you know, who cares what my body looks like? Who cares what
Yeah.
I'm doing? I'm just going to nourish my baby, look after my baby, and just 100% focus on the baby. I wish I had done that.
But you know
Like,
what's
if
worse?
anything, if anyone could take away anything today, is just do that. Just forget about everyone and
don't look at
everyone's-
Instagram.
Don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to anyone. You know, only you know what's best for your child.
Just stay in
You're
your
the
house
mum.
with your baby.
Yeah.
And you wear whatever,
Whatever
you
You
want.
want. You wear whatever
You know
you
what was
want.
worse? Right after I had Aria, I was like, okay, now I want to get back to my old weight. So
Yeah.
you know, right after you have your baby, you're meant to eat a lot to produce the breast milk, right? And I was like, I already put myself on a diet and I was restricting what I was eating. I felt hungry all the time because that's what happens after you have a kid. 'cause
Yeah.
you
Your
know,
body is like making
milk.
milk.
But I was like, no, I shouldn't eat any more. And then in those 2 weeks, I wasn't producing enough milk for Aria to go back to birth weight. I was endangering my own. I only just realized this now. I was endangering my own kid because I wanted to restrict my eating and do all that. I wasn't taking care of her. That's worse. And then even after 2 weeks later, dance practices started. I was like, no, I'm gonna get back into it. I've already missed 9 months of dance. I'm gonna get back into it. And that first class was like so hard because I couldn't learn fast. And then it actually was like, oh, don't exercise too much. Like, don't go too hard up because your breast milk will go down. I was like, okay, damn it, I better not. But again, like you said, I should have just done it.
It's a year, you know, when you look at your life, you feels like, okay, a year is a long time, right?
So
But
short.
in the lifetime of a child or in your own lifetime, 1 year is nothing to have dedicated 100% to that baby that needs you the most in that first year, you know? But you don't think of it like that because you're just in the moment at the time and you're thinking about all these things. I need to nourish my child. I got to have enough milk. I got to lose weight. I need to, at some point, start
Yeah.
working because we need
And
income.
that's
you know,
another
there's
thing.
so many
Yeah.
Even if you don't need the income, but if you don't start working, you get judged for that. Like,
Yeah.
so don't you get bored at home? So what do you do? So when are you going back to work? But they
That's
don't
a whole
think
nother
about
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Like,
it's
seeing
another
a kid-
conversation.
yeah,
Whole
whole
conversation.
Whole nother conversation there.
I feel like this has become like a baby post-baby conversation.
But it does
I
link.
think
But it does
we're,
link
We're
in, yeah.
highlighting some
Yeah.
really important things because I didn't understand that it was like this, like you had to think about all these things,
You,
know, like,
you
let
don't.
alone-
I think we're reflecting now
right?
at that
When I
moment
was
in
pregnant,
time.
no.
When you're in that moment of time, you're not.
Yeah.
You're just going with your emotions. Like, oh, my baby needs to feed. I'm going to feed. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. I feel like, like, oh, there's a dance class. I'm going to go. You don't think that, no, I should not. I should do this. I'm going to focus on my baby 100%. Some women can do it. And I'm like, you guys are amazing. And I wish I'd done it.
Yeah.
They're just 100% devoted to their child.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else. And I'm like, that's awesome.
I mean, it's hard enough, like parenting this first year. I don't know what the other years are going to be like, but this first year is hard enough, right? You know. And then also, like, you're bringing this child into this world with your own preconceived notions of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy because of how I look, and especially like, I don't know, bringing up another daughter, or another woman into this world, and her seeing me not being happy with myself. Imagine how she's going to grow up. You know, like
what's worse with the amount Arya eats right now. I'm scared she's going to be fat. And then she'll have an unhappy life like me, because I know for a fact that if she's skinny, she's going to be happier.
See, these things we have to let go of.
And I'm like,
but it's hard because when I was thin, so I've been chubby my whole life, and then when I lost weight,
you were happy.
I was not.
No,
I was
you were treated differently.
and so I was happier. Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
When the first thing people look at right now with me, they just look at me and they look up to my hair and they look back. They're doing this, looking at all my white hair, so you can see it. Or they look down and they
not even there. Like, you go shopping,
but then I think,
and then like they come and serve you.
We can't change other people. We can't.
Yeah.
Other people want to judge us. Let them. You know, we have to accept that. That's their right. Their right is to judge us. Right. We have to be okay with that and rise up above those judgments. You know, that is the hard part.
It's just the weird looks I get when I go into a clothing store that's obviously too young for me now. I don't even get talked. They won't even give me the time of day there now. But you know,
I think what the way you just summed that up, and then what you guys have mentioned about how, like, we can't control what other people are going to think. We can only control how we think and the outlook we have and everything we think about. But then also the type of people we keep around ourselves. And going back to what you said, Rash, and how you were like, do we need other people around us telling us that we look good, or that we look confident, or just that we look sexy, or you know, beautiful? I think we do. For like the people, I think we need to do that for the people around us. Because we don't do it enough for ourselves until we can be confident and comfortable with ourselves.
Also, like, I was just, because on the drive here I was thinking about, you know, Friends TV program, right? And I don't know whether it's because in the Indian world we grew up with more filters and everything, but you know how they talk about everything, anything on there, you know. And then there's so many things that taboo, a lot of things we don't talk about, and now we're like, we're going to talk about, like, say with us, I don't know how many years ago, we're like, no, we're going to talk about everything now. That means all the topics that were taboo before. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. But like, say, is it because we're Indian that we're more restricted with what we talk about? Or does everyone talk about, like, how they talk about topics like they do on Friends? They talk about everything on there, you know, all the experiments.
I think a lot of people do.
I think people do, but it also differs from the way you've been brought up, and there might be a lot of other people who have grown up in much more conservative families, and
it
it's just
matter
their
if you're
upbringing.
Indian or not Indian.
I don't think it doesn't. I don't think it matters.
I don't think we were conservative. I at the time, I don't think we're a conservative family.
No, like clothing wise. Like, we were very lucky. Like, Mom was very open-minded and had like quite broad thinking. Like, we were very lucky. Like, she's lucky she was educated. She went to uni. And she was just like very. She always said, "You guys do become whatever you want to be." She was never like, "You need to do this or you need to do that." She's like, "You guys do something different, you know? Be what you want to be."
She wanted me to do engineering. I remember that.
Like, my mom was like, "Go become a weather presenter." What Indian mom says that? Do you know what I mean? So like, we were very lucky in that way. And also our dad never stopped us from being powerful, you know, like I think the women in our family, like me, Rachna, Bhau, Jasmita, we are very strong women. And in our family, we are the ones like, okay, we're going to do this now. Okay, let's do this now. You know, there was a time when the men used to eat, the children used to eat, the men used to eat, and the women used to eat last. And then as soon as we were old enough to understand that this is so stupid, how stupid is this? Well, we were like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And this is like the younger girls in the family, okay, not our mums, not all our mums, us as the young woman in the family. We were still girls then, you know, this is like under 20. We're like, we're not probably under maybe 15 even. We were like, we're not doing this anymore. We're all going to sit down together. And we didn't say, can we do this? We're like, this is what we're doing.
This is how we're doing it.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing from now on. So we still all like, okay, we're going to put these sheets down. All the food's in the middle. Everyone's going to sit together and we're going to eat together. And that's like, we were lucky that we were allowed to do that. We were we were never stopped from being outspoken and to give our ideas, and like we're so lucky and blessed that way that we were allowed to do that.
Yeah, see, I feel like that I can say whatever I want like that in our family, but I think I wouldn't. I would think twice if it wasn't with our family, you know. If it was other people's families, I'd probably, you know.
I think there's a time and place for that as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's gone across into our lives, into our work, into our school, into India's whatever. Like we feel powerful at home, and that we can be outspoken and say what we want and think, and have allowed to have ideas and introduce new things. You know, change was okay. Like I feel like that's not always the case for some girls and their families. So, because when I saw other girls our age that time, they weren't as like they didn't seem as powerful, as confident as we were.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
that
like,
time back then.
yeah, with us too. So, you know, yeah, we stayed home more and we didn't do the whole boyfriends thing and all that. But I think if we wanted to, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal as long as we were more open, honest with mum and dad. It wouldn't have. I feel like we never had to hide. No. I feel like we didn't have to hide things from them.
Nah.
Like a lot of girls did back then. It feels so old saying back then, but hey, it was like at least 15 years ago, wasn't it?
I forgot what was the point.
I think what I was bringing up friends, just like that freedom to talk about anything and everything. So we should have the freedom to do that. We should give others the freedom to say anything, do anything, so they can feel empowered and everything. And
just again being conscious of what you're saying. So like now I won't be like, oh my god, you've lost all the weight after a baby. I'll just be like, how's the baby, how you doing? Oh my god, you're doing an amazing job. You know, how are you feeling? Rather than talking about how they look. That's the first comment we will get. Every Christmas function, the first thing we'll get is, hi, oh my god, you've lost so much weight. And knowing that you haven't, but getting told that, it's like you always get told that your looks are the most important thing. Yeah, of course. You're constantly reminded of that every single day. Every single day, you're reminded of that, how important your outside is. But I'm just saying, like, to start this movement, we need to... It's what we say to each other is important, and who we surround ourselves with. And
what you say to yourself.
What you say to yourself is the most important.
That's what I was going to say as well, is just understanding or knowing your intentions as well. Like, you know, like if you go for a haircut and then... you're like waiting for someone to be like, oh, you got a nice, how'd you cut your hair? Oh, that's a nice haircut. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think
not having to.
But like, you shouldn't ignore that, because if somebody looks nice and they had a nice haircut, I think it's okay to.
Yes.
If someone's lost weight, like it's okay to say that they've lost weight,
right? Yeah.
Or even it's okay for someone to say that they've put on weight. There's no right or wrong around either of it. It's just, I guess, how you internalize it yourself.
Yes.
You know.
But I think keeping in mind their situation and their position and what they're in, I think is important, because you never know what someone's going through. But like, that shouldn't be the only thing you say.
No.
I think if you say that, that's great, but you should also say,
I acknowledge who you are and I love who you are, and you look great today.
Yes. Like that.
I mean, exceptionally great. You look great every day.
I mean, there's a reason why after every single time we hang out, which isn't often, but after we do, you just feel so light and happy afterwards. You know, Bosch always says that. He goes, oh, after you guys hang out, you know, he's always saying, oh, man, you're just so like full of life right now. You know, like that kind of feeling. And that's the kind of friends you should have around you.
Yeah, or the kind of friend you should be to yourself. Sorry, it's all about...
It is. I think it starts, like, it's both, right? Some people need it to hear it from the outside, right? They need that support. Once you've got that, then you can go from the inside out. It's like you need it from both sides, outside in and inside out. Yes. Sometimes you don't always get it from outside, so in that case, it has to be you. But if you know you've got good people in your life and you know you've got ones that are okay, you focus on the good ones, you know? And there's nothing wrong with, I think, going both ways. Like, going from outside in and from inside out, you know. But most important is inside out. But sometimes it's nice to have the support from outside in too. Yeah.
I think you got to do what's best for you. And yeah, I think after that, it's see how it goes.
It's funny, like we even say sexy. Like we would never say that at home. We wouldn't say that word at home. We wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. When we were little, it was like, oh, we don't say that word.
Yeah.
It was almost like a swear word.
Yep.
So it's just so funny that
I feel like I was okay to say shit than sexy.
It actually, and that's something else that I talked to Swara about as well, is she was like, yeah, violence and all of that in the movies, it's okay to sit with your family and watch all of that. But when a love scene comes on, like,
like
change
a
the channel.
beautiful, tender
Yeah.
love scene.
Like, you know they're not even going to kiss, but it's like, don't watch that.
Even a kissing scene made you feel uncomfortable watching with your parents. Like, say we were watching like Stroller Street, and it was like two people started kissing, and then all of us at the table would just like look down.
Yeah.
You know,
awkward,
like,
But you're so right. Like, why is sexy just the word?
Yeah.
It's like so hard to be so normal about saying it.
But see, even Bersha's, are we allowed to kiss in front of Arya? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like she should see it because affection is good.
And especially affection between your parents. I think that's important. They want to see the love between their parents. I think it's important.
If they have examples of good relationships, then they'll have them in life too.
Yep.
Cool. Any final words before we close it up?
Finished already? That was so fast.
It went quick.
Yeah.
We're at about 47 minutes.
But remember, 3 minutes of that was talking about folding and scrunching.
That was good though. Cool. Any final thoughts or anything else? Any final words you guys want to say before we close it up?
I wish I was less judgmental when I was younger.
Yep.
I feel like I would have been a much better friend, and I would have had a lot more friends, and less fights and more self-confidence. I always think about that.
Actually,
I think it's really easy to get caught up in everything that's around you. You know, it's constantly like social media, TV, magazines, everything is telling you, you need to look like this, or this is what beauty is, or this is what sexiness is. And it's hard to ignore. It is hard to ignore. So I'm not going to just be like, ignore it all. Like, that's just like not realistic. So I think instead of that, we need to replace it with, like I said, like good people in your life, positive people who love you for who you are and not what you look like.
right.
Who really acknowledge your good qualities, push you to be better. And it's okay to be sexy. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to feel sexy and be sexy. I don't think that means that you're asking for anything or that you're like a certain way or anything like that.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Van?
Yeah, following on from social media, all women need to unfollow people that make them feel inadequate about themselves, like literally cleanse your feed so that when you're scrolling, you're not looking at someone who's trying to sell you something, sell their body to you, you know, like, yeah, awesome. If they've, you know, done all this hard work and they're motivating to you, like, and you feel inspired, then keep looking at that. But if you feel down about yourself or in any other way, just don't you don't need that, you know. And also do things that you love, like every day do something that you love, because the more that you start doing things that you love, the more you start to love and appreciate you. For some reason, that love bounces back onto you, and then that love bounces off onto everybody else. So make sure that you are feeding yourself with as much love as possible wherever you can. Yeah.
Cool. And also, I just want to say, I think it's also important that we put ourselves into situations where we can talk about things like this. Like for me, coming into it, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Like, from how I've been brought up and how I think, and you know, I think it's important that we don't just stop here and we communicate this to other people, and that we do talk about. It's like, it's okay to be sexy, and I feel like, me as a guy, yeah, I feel sexy and I feel good, I feel confident, and like, even like you guys, you know, you can feel that too. It's like how we are and how we should be. And I think that's what I've learned in like the last week. It's like, it's okay for us to be how we are and feel how we are, and you just got to do you.
And I think when we say sexy, it doesn't mean that you want sex, right?
Of
Sexy
course.
is like, it's just another word for confidence for me. When I say you feel sexy, it's like you feel confident, like I can do anything. You know? Like that's what when I say sexy, that's what I mean.
It's like an energy, and especially strong in females. But males probably in a different different way, like more in a power, enduring kind of way. But for females, it is a part of us, you know, and we all want to let it shine.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
like they always say, and it's true, like confidence is the sexiest thing you can wear. And it's like, it's 100% true. Yeah.
Cool. I want to thank you guys for coming along, and thank you for sharing your ideas, sharing your experiences, and just being open and honest. I appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone who's either listening or watching has taken so much away from what you guys have said. And yeah, I think it's really important that we continue these conversations as well. So thank you very much.
No, thank you for
having us and inviting us.
This was
been
exciting.
a pleasure.
Yeah.
Sorry for talking for so long.
Yeah.
You guys, this is awesome. I love it. I'll listen to the whole thing. Don't worry. I just want to thank everyone who's tuned in, whoever's listening on the podcast or watching. I hope you've taken something away from this, and that you can also action something that we've talked about here. And if you know someone who's going through or is in this type of situation, then forward this through to them, share it on. That's how we make conversations and just push positive energy forward, is by doing that. Small actions like sharing it, I think, is the way to go. If you'd like to get involved in the podcast, or if you've got any other ideas or any comments or feedback, please do write to us at info@thehumannow.co.nz. And if you can, please do like, share, subscribe, rate. It just helps us to do what we want to do and make this world a better place. And yeah, until next time, be human, be now.